On my wedding day, my husband jumped into a lake to save another woman. The guests looked at me like I was the punchline of a joke. I stood in that wedding hall for 3 hours. The candles had burned down to almost nothing. Then my dad showed up. He didn't look at anyone. He just walked straight over and lifted my veil. "Baby girl, let's go home." The entire wedding procession was carried back the same way it came. That night, the general came home soaking wet. He stood there staring at an empty bridal chamber, completely frozen. Word was he knelt outside my father's estate for the entire night. His knees were wrecked. My dad sent back one message. "Want to marry my daughter? Try again in your next life." The candles were half burned out, wax pooled up like a little hill. My veil was so heavy, gold-threaded phoenixes pressing down on my head. My neck was absolutely killing me. The hall was dead silent. The kind of silence soaked in pure schadenfreude. I could hear the guests whispering, their voices buzzing around my ears like a swarm of flies. 3 hours. The general still hadn't come back. He blew off his own wedding for a woman. The whole Grand Tudor family's reputation was officially in the trash. And it's not just the rep. Look at that wedding procession, carried all the way from the south side of the city to the north. And now, the groom ran off. I just stood there, not moving. My whole body had gone completely numb. Today was supposed to be the best day of my life, mine and Xiaoqie's. An hour ago, we were literally in the middle of the wedding ceremony. The officiant's voice was booming through the entire manor. Then a servant came stumbling in, tripping over himself. Said Miss Liu had fallen into the lake behind the estate. I felt Xiaoqie's whole body go rigid. He didn't look back at me. Not even for a second. His red wedding robe cut through the air, and he was already gone. Like a gust of wind, he swept away every last drop of joy in that room, and took my dignity with him. Liu Yuero, his childhood sweetheart, a distant cousin living under his roof, always in white, always talking soft and sweet, the type who looks like a strong breeze would knock her over. But right before Xiaoqiu bolted, I caught a glimpse through my veil, crystal clear. She was standing in the corner of the crowd, staring straight at me through all that noise. Zero fear in those eyes, just cold, calculated provocation. Then she turned and walked toward the back courtyard, and moments later, word came that she'd fallen into the water. The guests went from stunned silence to whispering, to full-on spectator mode, not even trying to hide it. Xiaoqiu's mother, my soon-to-be mother-in-law, finally couldn't sit still. She walked over to me, voice dripping with impatience and contempt. "Shen Yue, you're from a good family. Start acting like it. Yuru is fragile. She rushed here just for your wedding, and now this happened. Xiaoqiu going to save her was the right call. Standing here like a statue. What does that look like? You're making a fool of yourself." My throat felt like it was packed with burning coals. I couldn't get a single word out. Act like it? At my wedding, my husband ditched me to go save another woman, and I'm just supposed to be okay with that? Watch him throw himself at someone else, while I stood there looking like a complete fool, wearing this ridiculous veil while everyone pointed and laughed? Why don't you just take the veil off yourself? You really gonna wait for Xiaoqiu to come back and do it for you? She saw I wasn't budging. Her tone got even nastier. "Drop the Grand Tutor's Princess Act. You're in my house now. You follow my rules. My father raised me to know etiquette and discipline. 18 years I spent learning those rules. And on my own wedding day, someone ripped every last shred of my dignity apart in the worst way possible. My hands gripped the side of my dress so tight my nails dug into my palms. I can't break down. A Shen family daughter does not fall apart like this." The candles burned lower. Half the guests had already left. The ones still there were just waiting to see how it all ended, so they'd have a juicier story to laugh about later. Xiaoqi's mother had already gone to rest in the back hall. On her way out, she made sure to leave one final line. Absolutely pathetic. That massive wedding hall. Just me and a mountain of expensive dowry. That couldn't have felt more like a cruel joke. Just when I felt like I couldn't hold on any longer, like my whole body was about to give out, there was a commotion at the entrance. Someone walked in against the light. That face, calm, commanding, completely unreadable. It was my dad, the Grand Tutor. From the moment he walked in, his eyes locked straight onto me. Everyone held their breath, waiting to see what the Grand Tutor would do. Was he going to scold his daughter? Or bow his head and smooth things over for the general's family? Find some way to save face for everyone? My dad didn't say a word, he just raised his hand and gently lifted my red veil. The moment it fell away, the tears I'd been holding back for hours finally broke free. I looked into my father's eyes, those eyes that had read through thousands of court documents, eyes that had seen through everything in this world. Held no blame, no disappointment, just pure, overwhelming heartache. "Baby girl, let's go home." His voice was as steady as always, but with a roughness I had never heard before. I couldn't hold it anymore, I completely fell apart. He didn't say anything else. He just turned to the Shen family guards he'd brought along and gave his second order. "Take my daughter's dowry. Every single piece, bring it all back home." "Yes, sir." It wasn't loud, but it carried to every corner of that hall. The guards moved in and grabbed those red lacquer chests with the double happiness tags, carrying them out one by one, clean and efficient. Not a second of hesitation. The guests were stunned. This wasn't damage control, this was a demolition. Taking back the full wedding procession, untouched, that hits harder than a public slap in the face. This was a message to everyone in the capital. The Shen family's daughter is not getting married. I followed my dad one step at a time toward the door. The moment I crossed that threshold, my spine straightened right back up. The wind dried the tears on my face and blew away every last illusion I had about Xiaoqie. From the north end of the city to the south, we came in with all the fanfare. We left with twice the finality. That whole stretch of red, like one long bleeding wound, carved into the dusk of the capital.